I pretty much thought it was a lost cause. Like, how the hell am I gonna fix this game? Nobody I asked wanted to keep playing it, and I couldn't figure out what was wrong. Then when my brother playtested it, he did something and then said something that fixed it entirely. And what he said was, "My game has a problem, an engagement problem." Yes, that is a pun about how the game is about divorcing a princess. Welcome to the channel. This is my turn-based RPG that uses mini-games to perform actions, from attacking to dodging to healing. The problem is that the attacking minigame starts engaging enough, and then it gets really old. Older than Granddad. See, during the player's turn, you have this timer. You can perform as many actions as you want within this timer, as long as you can complete the minigames before it runs out. Fine concept. In practice, you would regularly get 2 or 3 actions out once you get the hang of it, and most people could get the hang of it pretty fast. So I went back to the drawing board. I had to look deep inside myself. I had to peel back the layers, suffer ego death, rub my belly and pat my head at the same time. My intent is to have an arcadey, turn-based RPG. Arcadey. Mastery. Low skill floor, high skill ceiling. Makes you want to do better for papa. So I changed the minigame. You see the difference? One presents itself and indeed has a hard skill ceiling. The other is more of a padded room, you crazy f***. The second one leaves you with the feeling that you could have done better if I didn't mess it up. In fact, I'm gonna change the attack minigame to this. It's snappier, it's quicker, it feels very arcadey. It's super simple. This might be it. This might be the change that takes this game to the moon. Now for some playtesters. Reddit? Yeah, Reddit. 3 people played. Let's see what they said. Fought the first enemy, got clobbered, and stopped. Well, damn. What about this one? Finished the first dungeon and quit. Wasn't motivated. Oof. What about that third guy I mentioned? I'll play it when I get the chance. Okay. So it's a bust. Better, but still a bust. What am I doing wrong? There are some NPCs at the beginning who are supposed to deliver an interactive tutorial. The problem is, they don't read as NPCs, they just look like red squares. If you skip them, then it's no wonder that you'll wander around and then get poked in the brain and then die. And the encounter rate is way too high, which exhausts players. It's even worse when you die and you get sent back to the starting room of the game. So, of course, I made a huge stink about random encounters in my previous game, so I don't plan on keeping them here either. But what I wanted to do was get a sort of facsimile of battle frequency, and random encounters is quick to put in. Is my game a loser? Does it not have legs? Is it just nubs? Little nubby lumpkins? I need somebody who I can watch and see what happens. Meet Chris. He my brother, and he's the lead singer of Breaking Echoes. Check out his vlog, as well as his music. I asked Chris if he could please play my game, and he said sure, as long as I stopped doing that. And so he played, and the usual things came up. The encounter rate's too high, there's not much that makes him want to keep playing. Every time he died, there was a noticeable dip in his energy. Except during the first boss. What happened here? Well, he started save scumming, and then he got really into the game. He'd die and then hop right back in. Like, he got really into it. And then he said something. It was, "I don't like venturing out because of the fear of dying and losing my progress. I left a generous ability to save in because it was good for debugging purposes." But then I thought back to when I would playtest the game, and holy crap, it made things way more fun. That's when everything clicked. Let me explain with a chart. This is a super specific, super precise, super accurate chart. It is written in stone. It is written into the fabric of the universe. You must abide by it, no matter the cost, okay? This side describes difficulty, and this side describes punishment. Difficulty generally describes how hard it is to keep from failing or to overcome an obstacle. Punishment describes how much progress you lose for failure, or how hard it is to course correct once you make a mistake. An easy and forgiving game would be a game like Animal Crossing. I've actually never played it, I just hear people describe it as chill, you just vibe. If I were to get cancer, the type of cancer I would want to get would be the Animal Crossing of cancer. An easy but unforgiving game would be like taking a light stroll and then having a small chance to just snap your leg clean off. Think about the early Sonic games. You can get a huge amount of lives, a huge amount of continues. The game isn't too hard except, approaching some of the end game stuff. But once you lose your lives and continues, that's it. The game's done. Unless you're playing Sonic 3 and Knuckles, or just Sonic 3. Also, you have quite a few chances to get the Chaos Emeralds in those games, but every spent chance is flushed down the toilet. Challenging and unforgiving games are both tough and punish you harshly. Think Fear and Hunger, maybe even Frostpunk.
Hi, Editing Caden here. I forgot to wax about what makes Fear and Hunger so ridiculous, okay? This is the same game where you can fight the mere whispers, the mere facsimiles of the remnants of the memories of the fundamental gods of this universe who otherwise would cripple you with their mere acknowledgement in one playthrough, and in another playthrough, step on a nail in a random corner of the dungeon and then die of tetanus.
The sweet spot that I love is challenging and forgiving. Think Mega Man, Resident Evil 4, Doom, Super Meat Boy. You die, and you probably die a lot, but you're usually right back into the action. Very little progress is lost, but each encounter can be tough. In fact, some levels of Super Meat Boy will only take 30 seconds to complete on the successful run, but you can spend up to an hour on that given level. Okay, so the difficulty thing is obvious, right? I want fewer encounters, but each encounter is treated like a mini-boss. Okay, but what do I do about the punishment? Well, turns out that you can retry that very battle with what you had going in, or you can accept the game over. So I just popped all that into the game, gave it a whirl, and oh my god, it was so much better. It is time for one of my friends to play test, because now they're not so busy. Let me tell you, things went a lot better this time around. Like, his engagement was through the roof, especially after he got the healing spell. That's when I turned the challenge dial up to crispy. In fact, let me tell you just how sold I am that I got this right, okay? There was an enemy that I forgot to balance. The attack stat was just way too high. I don't know why I left it in. I don't know what I was thinking. I honestly can't remember why I did that. My friend's HP would tank with every hit, so I offered to adjust the enemy's attack stat. I had the JSON file ready to send over Discord. All he had to do was put it in the game's folder. Told me to go f*** myself. He would not stop attacking it. I had to plead with him, just run away, just reset the game, just let me give you this file, and he said no. And he finally beat the enemy. Only to run into it again. I had to plead with him not to fight it. I had to convince him. I had to say, hey, you've already proven yourself, okay? Just let it go. So, I think I have a winner, but I don't know for sure. Who else can I ask for? You guys! Please check in the description for the link and the password for the game. It'll be up on itch.io. You can either play it in browser, or if for some reason it's not working, you could always download the files to play the game yourself. If you do go through all that trouble to playtest the game, just let me know in the comments what you thought about it. Now remember, this is a gray boxed version of the game with like zero polish and zero pizzazz. The point is sort of to kneecap myself in this regard, to really test whether or not I have a winner in terms of gameplay. The main critiques I'm looking for are where did you stop playing and why. Anyway, I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next devlog.